absolutely. So let's see if this goes live. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good to go live. It
Good
usually tells
morning.
me, it usually counts down for me and everything, and it's not.
Now it's
So
counting up. So here we are.
whatever. Let's
Okay, we'll
go,
see
let's
if this
go.
works and if everybody can hear us because last week we did the entire thing and nobody could hear us.
I know. I mean,
So,
Facebook can be kind of a demon, so it is
yeah.
what
How
it
are you,
is.
Dr. Jen?
I am doing fabulous. I am glad.
Good.
I'm going to check us out and see if I can see us on Facebook as
Yes,
we're
great
going.
idea because I'm on my
So
phone.
you go ahead
And
and intro us
yes,
to the book.
so we are covering a chapter a week in this book called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Weist. And we are covering chapter 7 this week, which is what the feelings you most suppress are trying to tell you. And I think they tell us a lot.
Oh my gosh,
Don't
yes. This
you?
was a really good chapter.
I agree. I have a lot of things underlined. And it starts off talking about emotional intelligence, and it went a completely different way. The first two words are emotional intelligence. And I thought what I thought it was going to be, and it's not that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It is telling us that real emotional maturity is how thoroughly you let yourself feel anything. And what really spoke to me as we talk through this is that a lot of times I feel numb, like I'm not letting myself feel anything. But when we talked last week, you talked about being neutral. Okay, so it says numbness isn't
Yes.
feeling nothing, it's feeling everything. And you've never learned to process anything at all. Numbness is not nothing, neutral is nothing. Numbness is everything at once. So I really started paying attention like, am I numb or am I neutral? And I think I'm more neutral than I am numb. So
I
that's
know.
good. That's
It
good.
sounds so funny. It sounds so funny to say that and
Uh
to like
huh.
think, oh my gosh, we're totally concentrating on am I this or am I
I
that? But
know.
it is. It's kind of laughable when you
Well,
think about it, but it's so important
it is.
to know the difference between am I just numbing out everything in my life
Right.
or am I healing and moving
Right.
past it? And those are two
Right.
completely different directions.
Yeah. And you and I, like pretty much everybody that's going to see this, we all have had our own trauma.
Yeah.
And so, and when that trauma is triggered, um, I think that in time you get quicker at recovering from, if it's the same trauma,
Yeah.
you can work through it a lot faster. I've noticed that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a lot of times I'll say I just kind of feel numb, like I don't really feel anything. Now, take me on vacation and I feel very happy and joyful.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So we'll have to see
Yeah.
if anyone, I know we have some people watching right now. If you could put
Oh,
something in
good.
the comments so we can see if the comments come up on the screen because
That's a great
we're
idea.
new to restream and we don't really, we're just, we don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna be honest. We're
Let's
just gonna throw
see if
ourselves out there.
okay, I put mine on the comment mode so I can see.
So we'll see if we can see comments come up or not. Because I'm hoping that little screen off there we can see
Right.
comments, but I don't really know. This is my first
That'll
time
be
doing this,
interesting.
so we'll see
Well,
how it
it's our
goes.
first time trying this because
We're
Facebook has given
winging
us
it,
a hard
people.
time.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
So one of the favorite things for me is healing is really just letting yourself feel.
isn't that an interesting concept?
Yeah, it's super deep
Well, you
for such
have
a
to.
small thing. It really is. I mean, how many times do we try to numb ourselves to our feelings?
Mm-hmm.
Something is hurting, and I know we talked about this last week when we tried the live. That there's so many times that I feel myself getting frustrated, getting that angry feeling, and I'm just trying to hide
Mm-hmm.
being sad about it, crying
Right.
about it, letting go of those emotions
Mm-hmm.
because it's so
Mm-hmm.
much easier to be frustrated
Mm-hmm.
with something even like completely unrelated
Mm-hmm.
than it is to actually deal with the emotions that you're going through. It's easier to stay numb
I
than to
I learned that
process it.
years ago. I learned in therapy that the
Marcus is
number one
coming up
feeling
too.
most people go to is anger immediately because it hides that sadness, the feeling of disappointment, those kind of things. So a lot of people do that, go to anger. We got a good morning from Marcus. Hi, Marcus. Yay.
So the
I see the
comments are
comment.
working. Yay,
Can you
yay,
see the
yay.
comment,
Yeah,
Dr.
so
Jen? Okay, great.
I can see it, and I'm watching us on
Awesome.
Facebook, and it comes
Great.
up on there. Now, I don't know what kind of lag time we got. That's the only thing. It's trying to figure that out. But that's all right.
Okay.
At least we can see it.
Awesome.
All right.
So,
The next thing that I really love. Okay, so I'm going to read the whole paragraph because I
okay.
love the whole thing.
Okay.
Your anxiety is your resistance to the process. Your last grasps at a control that you are becoming more and more aware that you do not have. Your tiredness is your resistance to who you really are, who you want to be. Your annoyance is just your repressed anger. Your depression, that biological factor aside, of course, is everything coming to the surface and you bellowing down to stow it away. Oh my gosh, that whole paragraph is just, I'm obsessed.
That's a lot to chew on.
All of our feelings, they all come from somewhere. They
I think you
all
should
come from somewhere.
I think you should read that next little paragraph too, because it kind of
Oh yeah. So then,
wraps it in a bow.
and your arrival at the conclusion that you cannot go on like this, that you're missing out, that you're off track, that you're feeling stuck and lost, is you realizing that you need to change your feelings. You just have to learn to lean into them and see what they are trying to tell you.
Right.
Exactly. So you have a
Right.
feeling, you have an emotion, you have
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, you have depression, you have something going on. Figure out what the root cause of. We talk about this all day
Mm-hmm.
long when it comes to our health,
Mm-hmm.
physical health, and we don't always focus on it when your mental health. Where is the feeling coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And we can relate this to the food and the snacking and to the food noise. There's so many times we are not eating out of hunger, we're eating out of
Oh gosh.
feelings,
Yes.
and this feeling comes up and we're stressed, anxious, depressed, whatever the feeling is.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of feeling the feeling, instead of figuring out what the root cause of where this feeling is coming from so we can deal with it and
Mm-hmm.
heal from it, we reach for the cookies, the snacks, the
That's
alcohol.
easier. That's easier to then face and like sit in it and feel it and try to figure it out. That's hard
Right.
work.
Because depression feels yuck.
Yes.
But we know if we reach for the cookie or the cake or the alcoholic drink, that pings that dopamine in the brain to
Mm-hmm.
make you feel better.
Right.
So why feel bad when we can feel better? And that's exactly what our brain constantly runs to, wanting us to feel good. So we run to those feel good things, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Instead of just working through the process of figuring out, hey, what the heck is going on?
And then it becomes a cycle that you repeat over and over. Every time you feel stressed or sad or angry, you're going to go get the almonds or the chips or the cupcakes, whatever it is that you go to.
Now, personally, and diving deep into my own, like in the past, and then thinking back and 10 years back and all the things I went through, like I can't tell you how many times I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I'm frustrated, I'm stuck. And instead of journaling it out, reaching out to a friend, I grabbed alcohol. And I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't at a point of alcoholism or drinking 6 drinks a night or anything like that, but it was
Mm-hmm.
just that one drink to take off the edge when I
Right.
came home to just numb some of the anxiety and feelings. And in my
Mm-hmm.
brain, I kept telling myself, it's just one beer, it's just one cocktail, it's just one glass of
Just
wine,
one.
it's just one. What does it
Mm-hmm.
matter? Right?
Mm-hmm.
But these were all just
Exactly.
me avoiding the feelings,
Yes.
avoiding the problems, avoiding all of it, stuffing everything down.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, for so many years, that was just the one beer, just the one glass of wine. And for so many people, it's just the snacks, it's just
Mm-hmm.
the ice cream, it's
Exactly.
just that sugar laden meal that's causing them to have fatty liver and all the things.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, girl, we could go on a soapbox all day on this.
I know.
I know. I
Um,
love at the end of that end of that first that page that we're talking about right
yes,
now.
41.
The feelings you most suppress are the most important ways you guide yourself.
Yes, I have that highlighted and starred.
And
Your apprehension to listen is not your own desire. It's the fear of something being more or less greater or worse, or simply different than those around you have implied they will accept. When you choose to value having other people's acceptance over your own, you accept a fate of battling your instincts to assimilate to the needs of other people's egos. That is so true. And I think we talked about that before, that um that it is so easy to want other people's approval or be accepted that you aren't yourself. And there was this back here on page 40, there's a paragraph that says, the point is that you aren't the one who's afraid of feeling too much. It's the people who call you crazy and dramatic and wrong. The people who don't know how to handle it, who want you to stay where you are. So I shared with you that a lot in high school. I remember I have a very fun loving, and you do too, fun loving energy and personality. And I would just be myself. And people would say, you're crazy. You're crazy. And that just, I just do not like that word crazy, because it would just shut me down. And then that put a lid on where I felt like I could be myself.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to let those kind of things go. Just, it could be one word that just, limits you for the rest of your life. And so now,
crazy,
yes,
makes you feel like you're too much.
Yes.
And then you shrink yourself.
Exactly.
And then you get in this constant cycle of feeling like I'm not enough because I'm too much. I'm too much for everybody.
Right.
The real me is too much to handle.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's still in my life to this day. Where sometimes I do feel, I know I'm a loud, boisterous, energetic person. Yeah. And I'm accepting that that's how I am. And if somebody doesn't like it, then bye, see ya. I'm just going to be myself. But it's a struggle in my mind always,
And what's crazy is there's so many people on this planet who have the opposite problem. They can't speak. They can't be social. Like they really struggle with it. And half the time, how many of those are the people who are reaching out to you just saying, you're crazy, you're too much, when it's really their own self-reflection of, I don't feel like I'm enough. Like I can't be a social butterfly and I can't, do all the things that you can do. And so I'm deflecting with my own negativity with that.
Right. And we're also uniquely and differently made. And that's what makes the world a beautiful place.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
I really like this chapter. It's just so good. It's good.
Did you know that sadness will not kill you?
But it will kill you in that it will rob you of every bit of life you do have. I love that.
Either let yourself feel.
Going through depression won't kill you.
No.
You know this. Just being a little sad, being depressed, going through the feels, feeling the emotions, it's not going to hurt you, right? And at the same time, staying in it, not processing it, not working on healing, not picking yourself up, going for the walk, getting out in nature, doing everything that you need to fight the depression, that's what'll kill you.
Absolutely.
Just giving up on yourself. It's just sitting in it.
Yes, I agree. And can we just talk for a minute about walking? Because that has always been, when I'm feeling the feels, I'm like, I'm going out on a walk because I get out in nature, the fresh air, hopefully sunshine. Even if it's not sunshine, we got the fresh air, we've got the birds. I just love looking at nature and animals, and especially in spring. What's your favorite season?
I absolutely love fall.
Okay.
I love watching the leaves and the crunch and sweatshirt and hoodies and all the things. Like that's fall's my jam.
A lot of people.
And the flowers.
Yes. I was going to say spring is mine because the world that I live in and you live in is coming to life. Not everybody in the United States has that, but the buds, the blooms, the grass is turning green. I've got a neighbor behind me that has lilac bushes. And so I'm going to start smelling those. And it just brings me so much joy. So in addition, we've talked about how important it is just to go on a 10-minute to 15-minute walk after each meal. And I've been doing that. And that helps you burn the sugars off from your meal, get your blood sugar back down. quickly. And last night I was over at the grandkids' house for dinner, and I drove home. I'm like, I gotta get on the treadmill. So on the treadmill last night and felt good just to get that walk in.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, have you tried any of my tips with it? So you said you spent the day with the grands. Did you
Yes,
get in your extra activity? Did you see my workout video with Erin?
I have not watched that one yet.
Hey, this is what
I'm
you need
going
to do
to.
with the grands.
Okay.
You need to get on YouTube, find something active that you can do,
Okay.
that kids can do, where they get to kick up their feet and act silly and have fun. Okay, she got completely out of control on this. I threw it on YouTube. She's like getting up in the camera and she's
Oh,
like,
funny.
subscribe to my channel. And I'm like, this is
Oh,
not your oh yeah, this is not your personal, but it's so fun to just see
yes.
how that here I am trying to do exercise. And I mean, that was winding me and myself trying to do
Right.
movement while I'm laughing at this child that's completely out of control. I posted it and I couldn't even understand all the words she was saying. She was just after it and jumping around and having fun. So hopefully it's PC for being
Yes.
online.
Yes.
But do this.
I'm
You
going to do. I did
have
your
a
first
good
one and
time with the
I loved
grandkids.
it. I loved it.
Do that for yourself. Turn on a little YouTube video with them.
Mm.
Have them do a workout for you. You'll be laughing your butt off. It is so good for your physical and your mental
Yes.
health, right?
Yes.
Like
Right.
getting the kids to do the stuff and seeing what they can do.
Mhm.
So fun. So
These
fun. It was
kids,
just,
they have so much energy. And I have a lot of energy, but this is next level energy.
oh my God.
So you're
Tonya,
going all day.
watch the YouTube today. Wait till
Okay.
you see.
Okay.
I am trying to do my simple calf raises and arm movements, and Erin's jumping the whole time, and she's like full on aerobics 1990 aerobics queen, and I'm like, girl, what are you like? Where does it come from?
That's
It's
hilarious. Is she 7 or 8?
Yeah, 7.
7. Okay.
It's crazy. I'm like, girl, what in? You're exhausting me watching
Yes.
you
Yes.
do the workout. It's so much fun.
That's a
But
great
those are
idea.
things I'm
I love
telling
that.
you. I know. Like you just said, you spent the day with the grands, you came home, you feel like you needed to move your body and work out. Work
In
out
a
with
different,
them.
yeah. I mean, I was moving all day, but just like pure walking because we
Yeah.
were playing all sorts of things. I can't even tell you. And then we were outside at one point and they were on the swings and I'm pushing both of them. And it was just so fun. And they have a big trampoline, but Nee doesn't like the trampoline. So I didn't get
Hmm.
on the trampoline this time. But it's
Yeah,
so
I'm
much
not doing the
fun.
jumps, I'm doing the calf raises in place
That's good.
instead of that.
That's
But
very good.
but then, Aaron's jumping around like the Energizer Bunny, and I'm just like,
Yes.
I forget how
I want to
much
bottle it.
energy
Yes.
that comes from all that. So,
Well, I think the last part that you read is, you either let yourself feel everything or you numb yourself into feeling nothing. You can't select your emotions. You either accept the flow or you resist it. And in the end, it's your choice. So I think that's an ongoing thing that we all have to learn, um, how to process our feelings, how to identify our feelings,
mhm,
and then work through them. And then I try really hard to, if I'm having a period of sadness, I try to set a limit. Like, okay, I'm going to be sad today, or I'm going to be sad for an hour, and then that's it. But that doesn't work always. I mean, that's like saying you can grieve for this little amount of time.
I
No,
know.
it's an ongoing process. And like I said, the more you do it, the more you do the work of identifying how you're feeling and working through that, the faster you get at it. It doesn't take as long. I equate it to the feeling of like something happens and your feet are knocked out from under you and you just can't stand up for a little while. And so it's not a good feeling, but eventually you'll be able to stand up and get going again. So I'm sure everybody can relate to this. We all have things that happen in our life.
Well, I think I see that Tracy's been commenting on
Oh,
Facebook, but it doesn't show
okay.
up on. So we're on YouTube right now, and we're on Facebook.
Okay.
So it looks like YouTube comments show up here, Facebook
Um,
comments show up down here. So we're learning. Guys, we're
Yes.
learning along the way. We're not ignoring you. If we don't see your comments, we're just learning.
Right. Hi, Penny. Hey,
So good to
Tracy.
know. I got to kind of watch both because they're not popping
Right.
both up on restream. So just so we
That's
know where we're at.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, but it's a learning process, guys. We're learning as we go.
Definitely.
What you were just talking about, the whole processing of giving yourself just so much time is hard to do
Mhm.
to just get through it.
It is.
So I've been really focusing on that actually for the last month or so,
Okay.
is where I realize how much downtime I have when I'm trying to go through the grieving or processing of something going on in my life. Because I've
Mhm.
had a lot of stuff going on in the last
Mhm.
few months. And I found that I was going through the slump of being sad about it or being upset about it for way too long, way too
Mhm.
long. And so I started sitting with myself and saying, okay, so how do I make this not be 3 days of not being able to get anything done, right?
Right. Yes.
And I realized that when I stopped numbing, trying to numb it, trying
That's.
to shut it down, and I just felt it,
Mhm.
dealt with it, wrote it out. Okay, I'm feeling angry, I'm
Mhm.
feeling frustrated, I'm feeling depressed, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And then I started being real with myself and doing some self talk and saying, okay, but come on, is this really what's going on? Am I
Right.
just feeling this? Am I exaggerating this? When I started really actually diving deep into it, and then you write those positive affirmations that
Mhm.
negate everything that you're going through,
Mhm.
and you realize, okay, this is just a stepping stone, and this is just a bump in the road, and just like everything else. And then you start looking at everyone else in your life who's dealing with cancer diagnosis, who's dealing with, serious terminal illness
Yes.
for family members, and they're dealing with so much bigger issues than I am
Mhm.
dealing with.
Right.
You put yourself in perspective that you're
Exactly.
really this teeny tiny little speck on this giant orb and does this
Mhm.
little thing that's really bothering me, even though it's a real stressor,
Mhm.
is it really that big of a deal? And
It
the
usually
answer
isn't.
is always
It
no.
usually isn't.
It's always no. It's I have these feelings, I have these traumas that have made it feel
Mhm.
like a huge
Huge.
thing,
Right.
but it's really not. And I start thinking of all the ways that I can get on a better path
Mhm.
and talking through that with myself. And
Mhm.
now I can sit in emotion for hours instead of days.
That's great.
And it's a game changer.
That is great.
It
That's
doesn't make the
progress.
stressor go away, right? It's
No,
still there. The
no,
problem's still there. But when you have those tools,
exactly. When you
right?
use the tools, we know that the only
Yeah.
person in this world we can control is ourselves.
Yeah.
And so when you know that, you work on yourself, you work on how you respond to things, you work on processing feelings that are coming up, you make progress, you become healthier and healthier.
Yeah. And you're allowed to feel it. You're allowed to
Yes.
scream. You're allowed to cry. You're
Hmm.
allowed to be angry, but you're not allowed to just stay there.
Right.
You're not allowed to just stay there.
Mhm.
You have to journal it. You have to self talk. You have to dive into all of the things that
Mhm.
make you feel good
Right.
and really put the effort through to say, is this something I can control?
Right.
Because 99% of the time it is not. If it's something we can't control, what can we do about it? We have to be realistic. If we
Exactly.
can't control it, what can we do about it? We can feel angry about it, we can feel sad about it, and then we have to keep moving.
Hmm.
It's the only choice.
And relationships are so complicated,
Oh yeah.
you
Yeah. Whether
know?
it's a spouse, whether it's a child, whether
Right.
it's a
A parent,
friend,
a sibling, right.
a coworker, it doesn't matter
Mhm.
who it is. All
Right.
relationships are complicated, right?
Yes. And we all have numerous relationships in our lives, and each one has to be handled differently in some regard. So, we are constantly working and growing. And I love that. I've always said I'm a lifelong learner. So I
Yeah.
don't care if I'm 80 years old, I still want to learn new things and I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. And staying open to learning and growing and trying new things is very important for that.
Mm-hmm.
Really is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Well, I so
So,
love this book. So I'm going to read some of the stuff we got on here for Tracy.
okay,
So she's talking about feeling makes us feel vulnerable, and a lot of us don't want that vulnerability
that's
because it's
true.
seen as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Mm-hmm.
times is that true that we see vulnerability, especially in men? Like men are so scared to feel vulnerable because then they're not
Right.
the big bad, they're not the
Mm-hmm.
big bad strong man. And really having whether it's men or women, feeling your emotions, going through it, working on the healing process. And she also said, let yourself sit with your feelings and work through them to start seeing the big picture and move through them. Yeah, absolutely. Like this was a really amazing chapter. I
I
know we
think
both
so.
discussed, we read chapter 8.
Yes.
We said, nah,
Uh, I
what
think we're
is
gonna
this?
just, it's one page and it's really interesting and strange to
It's
me.
pulling out your organs and laying them
I
on the
know, it's
table,
like
seeing that you're fixing your parts does not heal the whole.
the last sentence. I'm just asking whether or not you feel it. The feeling, the difference between that is my breath, my, what was it? I'm breathing, or that is my breath. That is my brain, or, we're not our brain. We are all put together like a puzzle that makes us ourselves. So it was just very
I had
interesting.
a hard time
So,
driving at home and figuring
yes,
out what was going
I
on.
agree. I agree. So,
I did
chapter
like the
nine.
I did like the sentence in there. Knowing
Oh,
who you are is grounding.
oh, that's true.
Knowing who you are is
Okay.
grounding, and I like that. That is a good. It gives you a sense of trajectory, and I agree.
Yes.
Knowing who you are as a person and sticking to that, sticking to your
Yes.
morals, sticking to your ideals, sticking to what you
Mm-hmm.
know is true,
Mm-hmm.
is great. That is grounding you on this earth. So I do like that. So
So I underlined
next
that. That
week,
is a good one.
yeah. So next week we're doing 20 signs you're doing better than you
Ooh.
think you are.
Ooh, I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, yeah.
20. Gonna
I
be
am
good.
looking forward to that. And when we're looking forward, it's like you question yourself, you doubt your life. Do. Okay, this should be good. This should be good. So I'm excited to dive into that.
I am
But
too.
for everybody who's like listening into this or sees the replay, all right, diving into a few concepts here. All right, number one, healing yourself is letting yourself feel. Feel your feelings,
Mhm.
allow yourself to feel them, be vulnerable, sit in that sadness, hurt, or pain, and allow your body to heal it. But also realize there's nothing you can do about the situation.
Mhm.
90% of it is nothing to do with you. So
Mhm.
often our feelings are from someone else is projecting on us, right? Making us feel a certain way when we have to realize we decide how we feel, right? The only
Mhm.
thing we can control is us. Numbness versus neutrality.
Yes, that's
Sit
huge
with
for
that
me.
this week and figure
That
out,
was
are
huge.
you numb to the situation? Are you having a glass of wine so that you don't feel it? So you don't have to feel with it, deal with it? Or are you moving on with the situation and it doesn't bother you anymore? Because when it doesn't bother you anymore, you're not eating your feelings, you're not drinking your feelings,
Yep.
um, you're not trying to outrun your feelings. I know so many
Mhm.
people that can be a serious problem in relationship with like the gym workouts. Like
Mhm.
I'm going to go to the gym and just run out all the stress,
Mhm.
and they get to the point where they like tank themselves metabolically.
Right. Right.
Over exercising, that's a problem too.
Yes, it is. Because
And
it
then
feels good.
yeah, and understanding your feelings you most suppress are the most important to guide yourself.
Right.
Figuring out what you're suppressing.
Mhm.
What are the feelings making you eat junk? What are the feelings making you drink the alcohol? What are the
Mhm.
feelings making you feel like you have to outrun it or outwalk it? Like you said, sometimes you're just like, oh my gosh, my brain, I have to go for a walk. Great.
Mhm.
What are those? What is that? Where is it coming from? What is that feeling?
Mhm.
Dig down into the and go for the walk, right? Go
Absolutely.
for the gym if you need that dopamine response. Much safer than
Mhm.
going for the alcohol or going for the foods. That's what you want to do. You still want to deal with it and
Mhm.
get those happy hormones going, but also process it.
Mhm.
Where did it come from? What triggered me and why is it triggering me? Go back in time and figure out where these triggers are coming from. and start doing the self-talk that says, yeah, but it's not true. It's not
Mhm.
true.
Right. That
Oh
was
my
in the
God.
past.
I love that.
I think one of the big lessons that I learned probably like 15 years ago, and I had to implement and work really hard, is to live in the moment. Don't live in the past by replaying those stories and incidents and things like that. Don't worry about the future. I mean, of course, you have to plan for the future, but
Yeah.
worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow or next year is a waste of time. So, in the moment, take a deep breath, be present with where you're at right now. And that has been such a key for me in my healing process as well. So, and the first step is awareness. Like you said, awareness of what you're feeling. And then you dig down and to see why. Why am I feeling this? Where did this come from? Is it an old pattern of thinking? And we can change the way we think,
Oh, yeah. At
you
any
know?
point in time, the science is there.
Exactly.
Neuroplasticity is a
Yes.
thing. Your brain is constantly growing and changing, especially if you're feeding it the right fuel, right?
Absolutely.
You're
Yes.
fueling your body with the protein and the healthy fats and all the good stuff it needs.
Right.
Your body is constantly growing and changing. And it does not matter what traumas, what problems, what issues. It doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter who you used to be. If you want to be a different person, you can be that today. If you
Yes.
want a different trajectory, you can choose that today. If you want health and wellness in your life, you can have that today. It doesn't matter. I think so many in the health and wellness space where we're at, I think so many people get to us post heart attack, post heart transplant, right? Post
Yes.
400-pound morbid obesity,
Mhm.
dealing with fatty liver, cholesterol issues, blood pressure issues. I'm on 7 meds. I'm on 10 meds. I'm on insulin. And they're like, what can I do now? It's too late.
Mhm. Right.
It's never too late.
That's
It
their
doesn't
wake up
matter.
call, but you can wake up now before
Yeah.
that happens.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Be
yeah.
proactive.
And it
I
doesn't
agree.
matter where you are right now. You want to change, you want to heal, you want to fix what you're going through physically or mentally. Start today. Start today.
Yes.
Today is
Absolutely.
the first day of your new chapter. And it doesn't
Yes.
matter if you've started 100 times before.
Mhm.
This is why we get unlimited chapters in our book, right? We set the number of chapters
Yes.
that we choose to write.
Right.
We choose. So you can have the
Mhm.
one chapter, and this you can do this one full chapter of staying stuck in the same place in the same time and doing the
Yes.
same thing, or you can have what this has, which is like 100 different chapters
Oh,
of
yes.
learning
Wow.
100 different lessons.
101, actually.
Yeah, and starting over. Yeah, 101. And starting over, it's okay to start over again and again and again and again.
It sure is.
And I love that. I
I
love
do
that
too.
life gets to be whatever we want it to be, whatever we want to make it.
And in the new chapter, you're taking with you everything you've learned from previous chapters. So
You
you're
take the
becoming.
lessons. You don't
Yes.
have to take the pain. You take
Right.
the lessons. You don't have to take the pain. You don't have to take the sorrow. Just take the lessons
Yeah.
and just continue to grow.
I love it.
I love that.
Me
Think
too.
about how much we've learned in our 40s and 50s and
Oh my
how much
gosh.
growth. Like, I wish I knew half of what I know right now
Me too.
when I graduated high school. If I had all of that's those seasoned lessons,
Mhm.
can you imagine?
It would be a lot different, I think.
I know, right?
So, but we're going to live in the moment. We're here, we're now. I love going over this book with you. I'm learning so
Me
much.
too.
Hopefully, everyone else is as well. And
Yeah.
next week, our chapter is, we already said 20 signs you're doing better than you think you are. Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah. That's
That'll
just
be
it.
great.
That's just it. And for everybody
Yes.
who hears this replay or watches it live, you're doing better than you think you are.
Mhm.
You're doing better than you're saying to yourself. You really, truly are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to prove it to you next week.
Okay. Sounds
Show
good.
up for it, right?
All right. 9:00 Central Time next Wednesday. I will see you then.
We'll see how this restream works. Sounds good.
Thanks, Dr. Jen. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
You too. Bye, Tonya.
Okay. Bye.